Hello viewers, this is Just Fake Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information about Nigerian news and out the news in details. #NSAS. The bullet is still in my body. Victims of Lekki tollgate shooting share their heartbreaking stories. As Nigerians await the outcome of the investigation from the Lagos State Judicial Panel on restitutions for victims of SARS-related abuses and the 20th October shooting at the Lekki tollgate, some of the victims of Lekki shooting incident have come out to share sad stories of how they survived the horrifying incident and also how they lost loved ones during the incident. In an interview with Arise TV, the victims relayed their sad stories. One of them, Edwin Augustine, who still has a bullet in his body, recounted how he went for the protest on that fateful day and was allegedly shot at by the military men who stormed the toll gate where the unarmed protesters were gathered. He said he went to toll gate with his friend. According to him, he said, I was at the snooker board that night, but I don't know how to play snookers. I was standing with him. While he was playing, I was like, let me go and check my phone that was charging. The light went off and we were like, what is wrong? The next thing I heard was shooting everywhere. The guy that was leading me to the charging point was shot at the side. I received my own on my thigh. Right now the bullet is still inside of me. It has not yet been removed. The next day I woke up and saw myself at Ikeja General Hospital. The bullet in me is giving me discomfort and affecting my leg, making this swell every day. Sometimes my leg gets stiff. Sometimes I wonder why the government is saying they did not shoot at us, why I am still having the bullet in my body. Mr. Tunde Odeyemi, the father of the another victim, recounted how he met his son in the hospital after the shooting. According to him, he said, I met him lying down being treated by the corner of the hospital. He couldn't talk to me. He couldn't open his eyes. I was surprised to see him in that position. I had to try and see the doctor so he can be transferred to Ikeja. They wrote a letter that he should be transferred that night. According to him, I met him lying down, being treated by the corner of the hospital. He couldn't talk to me. He couldn't open his eyes. I was surprised to see him in that position. I had to try and see the doctor so he can be transferred to Ikeja. They wrote a letter that he should be transferred that night, but they said there was no ambulance. It was the next day in the night that they brought us to emergency ward in Ikeja. That very day, they asked us to go do an x-ray of the brain. When the doctor studied it, he noticed that there was blood at the front and back of the brain, and he said that that is why the son cannot see anything now, and that when they start giving him drugs, the blood will vanish. It was about 5 days later that he started talking. He did not get himself well until when they discharged us from the hospital. Mr. Adeyemi said his son was discharged and asked to come back in January to collect a date for further checkup. He said he took him to his house and has since employed the service of a nurse who catered for him at home. Olufumi Ayedugbe, who was also interviewed, spoke about her brother Ayedugbe Gabriel Ayola, who she says died during the protest. A tearful Olufumi said, our deceased brother was shot in the head. I am speaking on behalf of my brother Ayedugbe, General Gabriel Ayola. He was shot in the head. We were actually looking for him because he doesn't stay with us. So it was like 2 days before he passed on that somebody sent this message to me on WhatsApp. They wrote it there that he is at Lasot and that they are looking for his family. So we went to Lasot. They said he was unconscious for like 2 weeks. By the time we got there, he had opened his eyes and he was moving his hand, but he couldn't talk. They were feeding him through his nose. There was sore all over his body because they did not tell him for a long time. I think he did not get medical attention. That was what led to his death eventually. This is a very sad story, and here we have the federal government are saying that there was no shooting everywhere. You know, how long are we going to continue to keep abhorring this wicked heart by our leaders. This is not a good thing at all. But may God help us. May God help us. Nigeria is in a mess. And our leaders are not even helping matters at all. They were saying that there was no atrocity, there was no shooting at the scene during the Lekki tollgate shooting. And here we are, people are coming out to speak about their experience, to talk about their loved ones that died in the process. May God help us. Our leaders are not even helping matters at all. And you can imagine what Lagos State Governor said during the harsh Årtßr protest, saying that nothing like fatality did not happen at all during the incident. Look at what Lai Mohammed was saying too. All of them, they are a bunch of fools. The concerns of many Nigerians are not their own concerns at all. Look at the innocent people that die on the spot. What are we going to say about it? And here we are. May God help us. May God help us. It is not a good thing at all. These actions nearly destroy Nigeria. It nearly destroyed Nigeria. Many lives have been wasted. And here we are. Lai Mohammed and all of them, they are making a bunch of liars all over the place. And Nigerians are dying every day. Nigerians are wiping away every day. And nothing is being done by these our selfish leaders. Nothing is being done by these our corrupt leaders that we have.